Hello there, People Stack family. Welcome to another episode of the People Stack podcast, the coronavirus edition. So I am recording this on April 5th, 2020. And according to predictions, we're still at least a couple of weeks away for most states anyway. For some states, even more than that, but at least a couple of weeks away from peak number of incidents of coronavirus. So we are all in this. We are all in this together. We are social distancing. We are going to the grocery store, and they are making us stand in line outside the grocery store 6 feet apart. And it's all good. And they're excuse me. And they are marking lines in the grocery store to make sure that we stay 6 feet apart. They are rationing. They are not allowing us to take more than two of mostly anything. And that is the reality right now. And we're talking to our friends on Zoom, on Skype, on Slack video, and we are doing everything that we can to get through this. And so the thing that I want to talk about this week is isolation. Feelings of isolation. Feeling like you lack support. And there's a couple of reasons why. Actually, there's more than a couple of reasons why I chose this topic this week. First of all, we're social distancing right now. We are basically being forced to isolate because it's what's safest right now. It's what's safest for us, for our families, for the country, for the world. So, of course, there's feelings of isolation right now because we're isolated. We're isolated from the people who we normally get to see in person, in real life, on an ongoing basis. And so there can also be that sense of, okay, well, if I'm feeling isolated, where's my support group? I don't have my support group anymore. Like, talking on Zoom is great and all, but it's just not the same as giving somebody a hug. It's just not the same as fist bumping someone in person. Having that real eye-to-eye, heart-to-heart, in-person connection. It's not the same. It's not. And so it can be really natural to feel that for that isolation, to feel that sense of isolation, especially right now. But even if you're listening to this at a time after the coronavirus uncertainty has passed, it can then start to also feel like lack of support. I don't feel like I have the support that I need right now. I don't have it. And one of the other things that I did is, for those of you who may not be aware, I do have a Facebook group. And if you want to join, it's just go to jenbunk.com/Facebook. It's called Achieving Career Transformation as a Tech Manager. And there are just under 1,000 folks in that group right now. And we post a bunch of stuff, a bunch of inspirational stuff, how to really, and it's not just about tactics and strategies. I mean, it's the same stuff that I post on this podcast, that I talk about this on this podcast, right? I mean, these get posted there as videos, and I also make sure that I don't give band-aids, and I'm not here to just say, oh, well, if you want to feel more support, just do a weekly Zoom call with all your friends. You're done. I don't need to tell you anything more, right? I'm not here to give you tips and tricks that you can just figure out on your own, because I know that you're listening to this, and if you want to become a member of the Facebook group, jenbunk.com/Facebook, that you want to get real value out of it. You don't want just the tips and tricks. And so what I asked in the Facebook group was, I did a poll, and I included a few options, but then I included the option for people to add more options. And it was really just, what is your number one work-related struggle right now? And the response that got the most yeses was, I feel like I don't have support right now. I'm really feeling like I don't have the support that I need. Some of the others, just in case you're curious, were around really just being worried about the future of your career. What is this all going to mean? That sense of worry. that sense of doubt about what this means about your career. And so we'll definitely be talking about more about that. But this week, the topic is isolation and lack of support. And we've definitely, on our calls with clients, on our calls with prospective clients, we've definitely heard this as well. So it wasn't a surprise to me that this came out to be the number one struggle that people are having right now is I don't feel like I'm supported. I don't have support, because it's coming up on those calls with clients and prospective clients as well, where it can show up, in a number of different ways, but basically people are just saying, I'm all alone. I feel like an island right now. And this is especially true for people who are single and live alone. And while you're doing everything that you can to maintain that sense of social connection, when you live alone, and you can absolutely start feeling like an island. Like there's no way, and you don't have a boat. You're not allowed to use your boat. You're not allowed to bring anything onto that island. You're not allowed to leave that island. It's sort of like if you've ever seen the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks. That those we get in our heads when we feel isolated, and when you get in your head, some scary shit starts happening because you don't have other people, other friends, other family members, even colleagues at work who may not know you as well. That would be better than anything, because they're our reality check. They're there to remind us that we're in this together. And those thoughts that are going through your head right now, those thoughts, those worries, those fears about whatever your worst fears might be, whether the worst fears for a lot of people are death, are losing life, losing money, losing your sanity, those moments of, wow, just like absolute fear, it's more likely to happen when you're feeling isolated, because we don't have that check, we don't have that support, we don't have other people to remind us of the possibilities and to remind us of the certainty that we do have inside. And it can feel extremely depressing. It can feel extremely mind-numbing in some ways, right? So it could, for some people, it might feel depressing and sad. But for a lot of people, it may just be like you're numb inside. It's like you're living, but you're not. It's like being on that hamster wheel, but even worse, because you're not even having to think about the hamster wheel. You're just kind of going through the motions. And that's the only thing that can help you to get through the day. And that's where it can really end up. And obviously I don't want that for any of you. And in the earlier stages, what the feelings of isolation and feelings of lack of support can do is we can try to muscle through it in the beginning, because I know for a lot of you, you're strong, you're committed, you want to still get work done. You want to make an impact. You want to lead your team. You want to upgrade your career. But there's these feelings of, I'm kind of in this alone. But no, it's all right. I'm just going to muscle through it. And you end up working more. You end up working your butt off. You end up in a place where you are burnt out. You are overwhelmed because you're using work to escape as a form of escapism. Just like we binge watch Netflix or HBO shows or whatever your media app of choice is. It's to temporarily escape reality, because we don't want to have to deal with what's going on right now. And so it's very likely that you could be using work or Netflix or drinking or smoking or online gambling or whatever it might be to escape the reality of the isolation right now, to escape the reality of the lack of support right now. And that's just not sustainable. It's not sustainable, not for a marathon like this. For a couple of days, you can muscle through it. Just like when you're sick, right? When you're physically ill. If it's just a little bug, if it's just a small cold, especially if you're relatively healthy and don't have any other underlying health conditions going on, yeah, you could probably muscle through it, and you've probably done it before. Like, you just basically say, I'm not sick, achoo, 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 yeah, I have 100-degree fever. It's okay, though. I'm going to muscle through it. And you can end up on the other side of that fine if it's just a sprint, because a lot of us are strong enough to do that. But for something like this, the extended period of isolation, the extended period of having to quarantine or social distance and shelter in place for weeks on end, going on months, it's not sustainable to just muscle through it, because you're going to burn out, because you're going to get overwhelmed. And those feelings of isolation, those feelings of I just don't have the support, are still going to be there. It's still going to be there. And look, we all have a need for connection. Even introverts like me. I'm an extreme introvert. Take every single test on the planet. I am at the extreme end of being an introvert. We all have, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, we all have a natural need, a human need for connection. And if you are not meeting that need, if that need is not getting met, then you're going to suffer the negative consequences for it. You're going to go through your own brand of suffering. And everybody has their own brand of suffering, just like I just talked about it. For some people, it's burnout. For some people, it's depression. For some people, it's anxiety or worry or fear. For some people, it's just complete denial. It's just complete denial that you're even, that there's even a problem, that there's anything to deal with. No, I'm fine. It's great. I love the fact that I don't have to talk to humans. Ha ha ha. Right? And a lot of us introverts do that too sometimes, right? We might joke about it, but we might be in denial that there's actually something that needs fixing, because, oh gosh, if there's something that needs fixing, then that means I need to change. And that's hard. I don't like change. That means I actually have to take actions that are different from the actions that I've taken in the past. Oh, no, I don't want that. I'm just going to go back to my comfort zone of work, watch Netflix, eat, go to bed, repeat. I just want to stay in that comfort zone. And that comfort zone, again, it's okay for a little bit, for a few days or so, but for weeks on end, months on end, it's going to have some dire negative consequences for not just for your physical health, your emotional well-being, but also for your career as well. If you continue to feel isolated, if you continue to feel like you don't have support, and if you actually don't get that support, your career is DOA. There's going to be no chance of upgrading your career, of landing that new job, of getting a promotion. No chance at all. So here's how you shift it. Here's how you shift the way that you're feeling, so that you're no longer feeling, oh my God, I'm isolated. I don't have support. This is too hard. I can't take it. I'm all alone. I feel like an island I'm on an island and I don't have a boat. I'm stuck. How do you shift it from that to, wow, I feel supported now. I feel like I have the resources I need, even though the world is in chaos, even though we're surrounded by a global pandemic. I feel like I got this. Bring it on. How do you make that shift? And again, I'm not here to give band-aids, right? What other people might say, other people who aren't experts at helping technical managers to upgrade your careers, other people who haven't had, going on almost 1,000 conversations with tech managers who are dealing with this exact problem. No, we've never dealt with this level of pandemic before, but we've definitely helped clients out of this feeling of isolation, this feeling of lack of support, no matter what was going on around them. And so what other people might tell you is, like I said, oh yeah, just do a Zoom. Yeah, all you have to do is, just make sure that you do once a week, go on a Zoom meeting with a bunch of your friends. You're good. You're good. That's all you need to do. It's easy. That's all you need to do. Or like Band-Aids, you know what I mean? Like things that are quick fixes to try to make you feel better, because we don't like it when other people, we're here to help, right? We're all here to help one another. So we don't want other people to feel frustrated, to feel isolated, to feel that lack of support. So if you were to ask on Facebook, you may have done this. Oh gosh, how are you guys dealing? How are you guys coping right now? What are you guys doing to feel less isolated right now? I can really use some help with this. Maybe you add that part, maybe you don't. What happens? It's like, oh, Netflix is my best friend now. Or, oh, I do Zoom meetings with a bunch of my friends. We do a BYOB and we talk about what we're drinking. And, oh, you know what you need to do? You need to work out more. That's what you need to do. Make sure that you're working out every single day, because that's going to help you feel more, that's going to put you in the physical space to feel more supported. And make sure you're meditating as well, because if you're not meditating, you're absolutely going to keep feeling isolated. And it's just like Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid. And you may have tried all of these things, meditation, journaling, watching Netflix, and now it's like, okay, I don't know what to do. It's just me and my glass of bourbon, and I'm still feeling isolated. Here's the truth. The truth is this requires a fundamental shift in the way that you're thinking and being. And I'm not going to lie to you. Making a fundamental shift in the way that you're thinking and being, it doesn't happen overnight. But it can happen, and when it happens, it's amazing. And you're going to be unstoppable. And the shift that I'm talking about is that no matter what's going on around you, you may be physically isolated. You may be living alone and not surrounded by anyone. And you may be living alone in the middle of nowhere, where even going outside, your next door neighbor is miles and miles away. So even if you were to go take a walk, you're not going to see anybody. That even if it's that extreme form of isolation, even then, you still feel supported, because that's who you are. That's the main thought. That's the main belief that you have, is that I am supported. I am resourceful. I know how to get that support no matter what's going on around me. That's the shift. That's the shift to make. Believe and know that you are supported. Because you are, that's just the truth. But if you're living in, I'm isolated and I don't have the support, you're just going to keep, and those are your core beliefs, especially your core beliefs right now, you're just going to keep finding more evidence that that's true. You're right, I'm not supported. I'm physically isolated. There's no one around. Zoom sucks. I can't even use Zoom now because they're having security issues. You're just going to keep finding more and more and more reasons why you're not supported, because at your core right now, you're not supported. That's how you're feeling. That's your identity right now. But what happens when you make the shift to, I'm supported, I got this, I have a fabulous network of people that I can reach out to, and I never feel isolated. What's that? Even if I'm physically alone, I feel connected to the rest of the world. Once you shift your beliefs and your identity to that, then guess what you're going to look for evidence for? You're going to look for evidence for why you're feeling even more supported. And you're going to find all of the reasons why you're more supported. And now suddenly doing that weekly Zoom BYOB with your friends works because it's yet another reason why you are who you are. If you don't make the identity shift and the mindset shift, it's not going to work. No, it's just going to keep the Band-Aids are just going to keep piling on. And it's just going to be yet another reason why this doesn't work and Zoom sucks. It's not the same. Phone calls suck, not the same. So it's about making that belief shift and that identity shift to I am supported, because that's what's true. And I'm not here to argue with anyone, right? Because there's always multiple truths. The thing is, you get to choose what's true right now. If you want to choose that, yep, isolation is what it's going to be, and I feel isolated and I'm not going to get support, and there's no way that I'm going to land another job, there's no way that I'm going to land a promotion and earn more money, what are you talking about? You can choose that truth. You can absolutely choose that. The only thing that I invite you to do, because I'm here to help, I'm here to call you out on what might potentially be complete bullshit. And I'm here to help you choose the beliefs that are actually going to get you a better life, a better career, more freedom, more support, no matter what's going on around you. The only thing that I invite you to do is take a look at your beliefs around support and isolation right now and turn them on their head, especially if they're negative. If they're positive, keep them there, right? Because that's what's going to keep you moving forward, right? But if your belief is there's no way in hell right now that I'm going to land a new job, what are you talking about? You're crazy. Turn it on its head. That's all I invite you to do. Because there's always an alternate truth an alternate belief that you can take on. And in this case, it would be, now is the best time to go on the job market. Because plenty of companies are still hiring, and they need people like me who have the technical skills and the leadership skills to lead teams remotely. I'm a catch right now. Right? And so which one feels better? It's up to you. I'm not here to tell you what your beliefs should be. I'm not here to should all over you. I'm here to offer a different perspective. And if you're ready to take on that perspective of I'm supported, I am someone who's resourceful, I am someone who's absolutely committed to upgrading my career regardless of what is going on around me, then let's talk. Go ahead and book a call, thepeoplestack.com/book. Because if you're ready for that and you're ready to make that shift in a permanent identity shift to someone who is a tech leadership superhero, regardless of what's going on, anyone, anywhere, anytime, bring it. I can lead a team through chaos. I can lead a team through a global pandemic. If you're ready to build that identity, and you know it's going to be hard, you know that it doesn't happen overnight, you know that I don't have a magic wand and I didn't build my own identity overnight, but it's happened over time, and that we have the strategies, the systems, and world-class support to help you build that identity so that no matter what's going on around you, you are a badass superhero technical leader who always has support. Then it's time to book a call. thepeoplestack.com/book. We're going to talk about what your current challenges are. What's not working for you in your career right now? Where is that isolation coming from? How is isolation and lack of support showing up for you? We're going to get absolutely clear on the hell that you're living in right now. And if you think you're not living in hell right now, we're going to make sure that we call you out on your bullshit, because a lot of you are living in hell right now and you're not really even admitting it. And we don't do this to like rub salt on a wound. We do this to help, because there's no way that you're going to get out of whatever negative stuff, whatever chaos you're dealing with right now, unless you can see with absolute clarity what exactly it is that you're dealing with right now. What are your symptoms? What are the consequences of those symptoms? We're going to get absolutely clear on that. We're also going to get absolutely clear on where you want to go. What's your career North Star? And if we're 100% confident that we can help you go in that direction towards your career North Star, if we're 100% confident that we can help you build an identity of an amazing, awesome technical leader who is absolutely capable of upgrading your career, earning that raise, earning that promotion, earning that new job, no matter what's going on around you, if we're 100% confident we can do that, then we're going to talk about what it's going to look like to work together. If we're not 100% confident that we can help you, either because it's not going to be a fit or it just doesn't feel like you're ready yet, we're still going to make sure that you leave that call with absolute clarity, absolute value, and a sense of these are my next actions so that I can at least start walking the path in that direction. So it's time to book a call. Now is the time to get that support that you need. Now more than ever, and we are here to help. ThePeoplestack.com/book. Shift your identity, folks. Shift your beliefs around isolation, around lack of support. Shift them to a place that serves you and that are going to help you to make the impact that you know you're capable of making, even amid global chaos right now. So that's it for the day. Talk to you again really, really soon. That's a wrap.